Okay, so hi everybody, welcome to our tips and tricks session. Today we're going to be covering SAP Business One version 10. This is part 1. We're going to be covering part 2 in 2 weeks, our next session. So Christophe, I'm just going to transfer this over to you. Make presenter. There you go.
Okay, good. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so let's do it.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Tracy. So as of today, SAP 10 is still in ramp-up mode. That means that it is available for certain customers that will request to SAP to be part of the ramp-up program. But it will be in general release in the next few months, very soon, when SAP will have had enough feedback from our customers. So we will let you know when it becomes a general release. Today, the webinar will be in HANA patch level 0 that was released in last November. And we just had a new release in patch level 1, still in ramp up, but I did not install it yet. So I will have it done for the part 2 in 2 weeks. And
Right.
also there will be some additional interesting features next week.
And by the way, for because most of I don't know who's on HANA or on the SQL version, but excuse me, just to remind you that the skin of HANA is a little different, but it's the same thing. The same thing is available in the SQL version. So just want to specify that.
Yeah, except for the dashboards that we won't have in
Right.
SQL, or maybe
Unless they
not
have
those.
Goyam.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, we have here a what's new document that will be our guideline for today's presentation. We'll be covering everything except the web client here and the topics 9 to 11. So we're going to see all the other ones. Next week, we're going to see the web client and 9, 10, 11. So let's start it. Okay, so the point 1, there is pretty much nothing much to say. Web client is a new technology that currently exists only for the sales order and master data, but it's not, the web client is actually different from the web browser. That is a technology that already exists in 9.3, and we'll be covering it next week. It's a very interesting thing. That will allows us to create sales order, deliveries, AR invoice, as well as managing our business partner items and activities. So, but I would like to show you that in patch level 1. Okay, administration. We have a new localization for the UK. And we have a SAP Business One Office 365 integration. So currently, if you are in 9.3, you might be aware that currently SAP is integrated only with Office 2016 or maybe before. But it's what will be interesting in version 10 is that it will be supported and integrated with Office 365. And so it will allow us to do, let's say, export to Microsoft OneDrive automatically. So very nice features. The user interface also will be adjusted for the 4K monitors. And we have a new skin that is called Belize Deep that you can see right now. So this is a new skin that goes along with the Fiori style SAP. So if you like the blue, you will like that skin. Okay, now something interesting about the approval process. What is new in version 10 is that if an authorizer sends a request for approval and the document will be in a draft, it will be in a pending status. Now it is possible to recall that document. So the person that will create, the originator, the person that will create that document will be able to recall that document and to do any modifications while it is in a pending status. So just to show you quickly what we have here in the alerts, I've made a quick test. So at 10:19, we had a PO created by a user called Chris, and he was saying, please approve the document. And a few minutes after, he's requesting for the same document another approval with a modification. And so when it is approved, the originator will get back an alert that says, okay, it's approved, you can go ahead. So nice feature. And also in the printing preference, so the printing preference is the place where we can set up automatic printing or automatic emails based on a document. Usually it's for invoices, PO, or sales order. Now it works with the service call also, service call and service contract. So very interesting if you're using this module and you have a customer calling, you create a sales not a sales order, a service call, and it will at the creation of it, it will be automatically sent by email or printed if you need to. Okay, authorization, that is a very nice feature also. About the authorizations, we have now the ability to break down what people are allowed to do in the item master data and in the business partner master data. So let's say, let's have a quick look at it. Let's say for Chris. So currently in 9.3, what we can grant or not in the business partner is basically the whole window. And now we can grant access only to general tab or contact person, address, payment term, payment run, or accounting tab. So let's say we could say, I want to grant full access only to the accounting department to create a new customers, but I would like my people from the customer service to be able to change the address or to add a contact, let's say, add or modify a contact. And we could say, okay, I want to grant read-only access to the properties tab or to the remark. So that was requested by some customers, and very happy to see that. And in the inventory also, in the item master data, we can break down the authorizations per tab also, general, purchasing, sales, and so on, up until the attachment tab. So we could say the planner will be allowed to change only what is in the planning, and we would like also the people from the warehouse not to touch the valuation method. Okay, sometimes we get this kind of request. We don't want people to change the moving average to FIFO, let's say. So that can be blocked for everyone except for the accounting people.
Yeah, and Chris, I just want to specify something to everybody. In your SAP, when you're in the info at the top, you can go in there and there's in the menu suggestions, right, Chris? That you can suggest things to SAP and what they do in the suggestions. If there's something
Correct.
that you would like them to bring up in the next version, you can suggest it. And I think once they have like 6 or 7 requests for the same thing, they really take it into consideration. So if anybody has requests for them, I just suggest that you use this. All right.
Yeah, thank you. That is true actually. Yeah. Okay. So that is for the authorizations. Posting periods, we have now a new filter that will make our life a bit easier when we get to the time. Let's say we need to search for 2020. Okay, well, in that situation it's the very last one, but we could just be here and type in any period code that we want to jump to, and also when we create new periods, we can have the due date to be automatically in the next financial year, let's say in December. So when we create a new period, we won't have to go and change the due date for each of them. So little feature that is nice to see. The display username. Okay, so the display username and the screen display. So the display username is in 9.3, you know that you guys have your name and company name here in the middle. So it's very nice to change a database or to change a user. Now it's been moved to the top here to provide more space to the widget. So it's exactly the same logic. You click on it and you can change database, let's say, okay, instead of going there under administration and choose company. And please remember, you always have to enter your username, well, maybe not your username, but your password. If you see 4 stars, like what we see all the time here, it doesn't mean that your password is entered. Okay, even if your password is 4-digit, you always have to re-enter it before switching a database or before switching a user. And what has been added also in the UI, in the user interface, is that now all of these windows support the full screen display. That means, let's say, in the general settings, you could open it in, okay, sometimes we have to double click. Okay, so you could just open it up in full screen if you have to. And that could be interesting for, let's say, some of the accounting reports or the printing. I think the printing is there, printing preference. Sometimes when you have to scroll up and down, now you can have it in full screen display. Okay. You could also hide the toolbar on the top. If you want a bit more space, you just go to View, Show Hide Toolbar, and your icons will be hidden. Personally, I like to have them here. Find them very useful, but sometimes with shortcut, you might not have to use it. So far, so good, everyone.
You've got the chat box too, everybody, if you want to ask any
Don't
questions
hesitate.
or just remove your mute. Okay.
Okay, good. Sales, purchasing, and service. Document printing. Document printing is a very nice feature. Let's say that you don't want to send out by emails sales order when they are created. You could just create a bunch of them, and in the end of the day, you could send out the sales confirmation or invoices. Now, in the document printing, we have a few more parameters that we can filter on. It is, let's say, here in document printing. So now what's new is that we can filter based on BP codes, customer groups, vendor groups, or properties. So that is in addition to what we can do now. And also we have more information in that window. We have a sales employee that I think we don't have currently. We have the owner remarks, consolidating BP reference. So very nice features. We can still filters or sort on this employee, let's say. So if you want to grant like your people to be sending out their own documents, you could proceed that way.
Chris, I've got one little question here from somebody that's asking, will we be getting a copy of the slide deck after the presentation? Look, Stuart, I record this, so if you want a copy afterwards, it's all on our YouTube page, but it'll be available next week if you want to have it. All right.
Yeah. Okay, good. AR invoice, AP invoice. Now we can we can edit the due date field when the invoice is partially reconciled. And backorder reports. So the backorder reports, I don't know if you currently use it. It was created, I think, in 9.2 or 9.3. It's a very nice report. What it does is here, backorder report. So it will list every sales order that was not delivered, so that is still open. But what is interesting with this one compared to the open item list is that you can enter some parameters on the delivery date. Let's say you do not want to see the whole bunch of open sales order. You want to see the ones that are to be delivered up until this date, so that you can make yourself ready. You can filter on customer codes, documents, items, and warehouses, of course. And so that already exists in 9.3, but what is very interesting with this one, it's that now you can see if you have any reserve invoice that have been paid or not. So you see that new field here, it will tell you the status of the AR reserve invoice. And so you could, once again, you could filter on it, or you could just, so you could sort or filter and say, okay, I want to take care of my reserve invoice that are only fully paid, and that's it. And the rest for the rest, you can do a follow-up and ask your customers to pay for that. So nice feature that you can that you can select in the form settings. Okay, and probably you've noticed that the backorder report is per line compared to the open item list that is per document. Okay, financial management. Here we have one enhancement about the journal entry remark. Now we can enter some data up to 254 characters. And now we have a drill down capability in the financial report. So let's say that in the balance, trial, or profit and loss statement, let's say, and you have it also in those reports that in the comparison or in the budget report. So let's say that you run in a financial, no, not here. Financial report, financial, let's say we want to get a profit and loss. So we enter our dates and parameters. Now we have a drill down option on the GL account. So let's say that we want to get more information on that amount. Can do a drill down directly and open the list of transactions and filter on what's been reconciled or not and on the posting date.
Yeah, this option was supposed to be available in version 9.3 patch level 10. For those that come off into the web sessions that we give, I actually had an entire web session that was supposed to be on that, but it only just now came out in version 10, so I'm just pointing it out that it did finally get here. So
yeah, I think the accounting people might find it very interesting. Okay, good. Let's continue. Project management. So project management, we've had it for a long time in SAP, and now what we have very interesting is that the Gantt chart is now interactive. So let's say we open project here. Let's get this one. So this one, the dates make sense. That's in 2020. simple project with sub-project. We have 3 phases for the sub-project, and we have this one that, sorry, in the stages, this one is due for 7th of April. So that is actually the end of the project. If you do a right click in the project and you select the Gantt chart, so the Gantt chart is very interesting because we can see the beginning and the end of the project. We can see the phases and the dependencies between them. So now what has been improved is that we can just change, let's say, we can increase or decrease the time, and we can even change, like just change a phase totally from the beginning to the end.
You can manually
And
adjust it from the Gantt or on the other end and just change the date, you mean, Christophe?
that's correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the word I was looking for. You can adjust that phase, and you click on update, and now it's going to change. It's going to change the due date in here. So a lot more interesting to have it interactive than just having it static. Oop, don't know what I've done. Oh, billing. Yeah. So Gantt chart. I think the project is getting very interesting. We have a few people. We have like more customers using it, and it's getting a nice feature in
Yeah,
SAP.
and for those that aren't familiar, like the Gantt charts, what they really do, and you can, like, if you have, let's say in your phase 2, you've got planning, and then installation, that it's written in small there. I've got my screen small. But you
Yep.
can have something that's blocked and say, I cannot start this phase before the other one is finished. So if you push back the date on one of the activities, it will push back the date on the other to show if there's going to be a delay in different
Probably.
phases. That's what
I
the
would
Gantt
have to.
chart does. It does do that, Chris.
Yeah, it does. Okay, I would have to test it, but I think, yeah, the
It's
reason why
it's the
here,
goal. It's the goal
yeah,
for a
that's the
Gantt
goal.
chart.
That's the goal. Actually, I did not set up any dependents.
Yeah, that's where it
That's
is exactly.
yeah, exactly. Okay, good. And I think we have another webinar on the project that we've done last year.
Yeah, I think we have a few webinars that we covered for those that
Mm,
might want to see a full 30 minutes just on project management. Just send me a quick email and I'll send you the link to the recording that are all on our YouTube channel now.
yeah. Okay. Now inventory and distribution. Okay. Currently in 9.3, we cannot change the unit of measure group from an item, even if it shares the same conversion rule. So, but now we can, we are able to do so only, of course, if we have the set of conversion rules in both unit of measure. So let's see how it works. We have here an item that is called weight item. That item is linked to a group called weight, and we have the grams, pounds, and kilo. Now, if we want to change it, we have another unit of measure group that has the gram, pounds, kilo, and case of 10 kilos. So if we wanted to change that weight unit, I'm just going to duplicate it, call it W for webinar. Okay. Okay. Nope, that's not the one I want. Okay, that's the one I want. So now see in the purchasing and in the sales tab, we have the pounds, kilo, and grams available. And we are able to change it to weight extension because, and it's going to ask me, well, it's going to warn me that I'm going to it's going to remove the associated sales unit of measure and purchasing unit of measure, which is fine. That's what I want. And hit update. And now I have the options of pounds, kilograms, and case of 10 kilos. So because my two unit of measure group shares the same unit of measure, So it can be interesting sometimes. And also, okay, also we can update the description, and it will update the according description in the bill of material. So let's say that we have a BOM here. We have a server. We have a server with a printer and a PC box. That PC box is made of motherboard and
Got multiple
so on.
components.
Exactly, that's a production bill of material. Here, if we change that description, let's say we just remove the test, hit update. Oops. Sorry, I hit cancel instead. Nope, that's not. That's from the item master data that we want to change it. Okay, I'm going to hit update. I'm going to get a message that says that we have this item is connected to a bill of material. Do we want to update the product description in the BOM? We'll say yes. And so of course it's going to change it here in that BOM, but also it's going to change it here in the other BOM underneath, because I'm looking for, okay. So it's going to change it everywhere this item is, even if we have multiple level of BOM. So it keeps things more accurate and standard. Okay, now in version 10, we are able to change any serial number or batch number when we create an inventory transfer request or when we create reserve invoice. And that is a very, very nice feature. We have some customers in the food industry. When they do receive an item, this item has a certain serial number, and sometimes it is stored in a 3PL, third-party logistics, and they have to do a goods issue, a goods receipt to change the serial number, because what the 3PL is going to provide them as information is their own serial number. So now we have the option to change that. Let's say, okay, we have an inventory transfer request. And from the quantity, we have the batch serial number. So the serial number that we requested to transfer from warehouse 1 to warehouse 2 is called A6 286 new. If for some reason we have to change it, we'll do a right click, serial number completion, and we will choose update. I'm sure you've seen this window before, and it will allow us at this time, before the transfer is done, to just change the serial number to the number, let's say, that will be provided by the 3PL, and we hit OK. And now we have the 286, and we can proceed to an inventory transfer. So that works also with the batch management.
I have a question, Christophe. When
Sure.
you change a serial number like that, is there any way to keep trace of the old number, or does it just become the new one?
I guess there is. That's a good question. I don't have the answer.
Okay.
I haven't
I
tested
gather
yet.
you can, but
Let's do a quick test here in the, where is it? Inventory, batch and serial inventory.
I'd guess you'd have to say from, which is the first number, to the new one, and it'll show you both, maybe?
Let's say 286. No. 6. Now I can't say it. Why batch number? Batch
We
number
could look into
from.
it at another time. I was just wondering, you know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
if someone would need to follow both,
Oh, that's not a
since it's the
batch.
same
That's
thing, you know.
actually, that's not a batch. That's a serial number that I'm looking for.
Yep, there you go.
System is 6. Yeah, that's, I guess I would have to verify
Yeah, we'll look
before I
into
give
it.
you. Yeah, but that's a very good question. Definitely, it would be good to have
All right.
that traceability and not let everyone does that kind of change, of course.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, but sometimes it's like it happens that we make a mistake when entering the serial number, so
Mm,
it's good for that situation too. Okay, group name. For the item group name, we can have up to 100 characters. And new feature also, which is nice to have. Now, when we navigate, let's say in a sales order, we have an item, and this item is actually a bill of material. So now in 9.3, when we click on the drill down, it will open the bill of material window, and then we have to click again on the item to get a view on the item master data. Now there is a configuration in the general settings that we can say that we will directly jump into the item. And that is interesting also because we had to grant access to the BOM before. Let's say if we want to do a drill down on that server, remember that server? This is where is it? Where is the BOM? So that server is this one. So now in 9.3, when we clicked on that drill down, it would open a bill of material and we would have to get to the item master data in 2 clicks. Now we can directly open the item master data. So I think it's a nice feature. Okay, good. That's it already.
yeah, but like you can
So
see though, there's a lot of small little things that small little changes and additions, but I think the big differences with the new version 10 are going to be shown next week when you show us the next patch level that you haven't installed yet, right?
that's correct. That's correct. There are some nice feature too.
Yeah,
The web client is very interesting. But sometimes it can be just 1 or 2 new feature that make people life easier. So
yeah, that's it.
does anyone have a question?
You good, Pascal? Do you not have any questions? I know you were looking forward to seeing this. I know we're going to be having, like I said, more stuff to show you next week on the same thing. But all right, everybody. So if you have any questions, just there's your support help or there's myself. You can send me an email. And if anybody wants a recording of this, send me an email and I should have it up on the Forgestic YouTube page. That'll be up next week with the new session. So thank you, everybody. Thanks, Christophe, and have a good weekend. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you everyone.
Thanks,
Have a good
everyone.
weekend.
Bye.
Bye bye.